All right, I want you to do something for me. Picture a date. Go on, just one. Got that image in your head? Good. Now, what does it look like?
I'm gonna bet you're picturing something that looks a lot like this, right? This is the famous Deglet Noor. It's the one you see everywhere. It's the most exported, the most recognizable date on the entire planet. Let's be honest, for most of us, this is the date.
But what if I told you that that one date is just one single page in a massive, massive library? It's like thinking you know a language because you know one word, and then someone hands you the entire dictionary.
Yeah, because some dates, they don't look anything like the one you were just picturing. Get this, some are tiny and perfectly round like this one, the Tant booked.
And some, they're not even brown. They're this incredible bright golden yellow. This one's called the Kentichi.
And then you get some that are so out there you'd probably never even guess they were dates. I mean, look at this thing. But it is. It's a real date, called the Toktamarst. So, this all brings us to the big question we're going to tackle in this explainer. How on earth can one single fruit have so many completely different faces? It's just mind-boggling, right?
Well, the answer is pretty incredible. It lies in this huge, monumental scientific mission to catalog all of Algeria's date palms. Because here's the crazy part. For decades, all this amazing diversity wasn't just unknown to most of the world, it was actually in danger of vanishing forever.
And this quote, right from the preface of the study that documented all this, it just hits the nail on the head. It basically says, we can't do anything serious if we're ignorant of the resources we possess. I mean, think about it. How can you protect something, or even use it, if you don't even know it's there?
And that was exactly the problem. This massive genetic heritage, this library of dates that had been grown for centuries in these Saharan oases, it was basically unwritten. Nobody had cataloged it. And as farming changed, as certain dates got more popular, the other, rarer ones, well, they were just disappearing.
Okay, so you're going to hear this word a lot, cultivar. That's the technical term they use in the study for a specific type of date. But don't let it throw you. Just think of it like this. It's not some random wild plant. A cultivar is a variety that farmers have deliberately chosen and grown for generations because it has some special, unique quality. So, okay, how in the world do you even begin to create an encyclopedia of a fruit when that fruit is spread out across thousands of miles of desert? Well, you launch a massive scientific quest. An adventure, really.
The project was super meticulous. It basically had 3 big steps. First, you had to actually go out there and find the trees. Prospecting, they called it, trekking across who knows how many oases. Then, step 2, you document every single different type, every cultivar you find. And finally, you bring samples all the way back to the lab to really dig into the science.
And when I say document, I mean they went deep. Look at this form. They basically created a passport for every single palm tree variety. This wasn't just, snapping a quick photo. This was a complete, exhaustive data sheet.
They tracked literally dozens of things, not just the obvious stuff like the fruit's shape, its color, or even its taste, which could range from perfumed to acidic, by the way. They also documented the tree itself, how tall it was, how long its leaves were, how many dates it produced, and maybe most importantly, stuff like its resistance to diseases. Things like fusarium wilt, which can just wipe out entire groves.
So all of that hard work resulted in this, just stunning collection of date cultivars, a gallery that shows a level of diversity that's almost unbelievable. So let's do this. Let's look at a few side-by-side comparisons so you can really see what I'm talking about. First up, let's put a global superstar that we all know next to a local hero, one that's super important in its own region.
Okay, so on the left, there's our old friend, the Deglet Noor, the one that's grown all over the world. But on the right, that's the Agabujamu. Now, you've probably never heard of it, but the research shows that it's a huge deal in the Bukata region. It's a major export to countries to the south. So you have the same fruit, but they operate on totally different scales of influence.
All right, next up, color. And I want you to just forget everything you think you know about what color a date is supposed to be. On the left, you've got the Deglabeta. It's this beautiful, bright, clear yellow. And on the right, that's the Ameri, a variety that's so dark the study literally just describes its color as black. I mean, when you see them next to each other like this, it just hammers home the incredible genetic spectrum we are dealing with here. And look, this isn't just about looks. This diversity has a real purpose. Different cultivars are used for completely different things. For example, the hard chaya. It's not really for eating fresh. The study points out it's actually used to make vinegar.
Or take the takrubat. It's famous for being super resistant to disease, which is an absolutely vital genetic trait. You've got some that are soft and you eat them right away, and others that are dry and can be stored for ages. Every single one has its own special job. Okay, so after all of that, all the travel to remote oases, filling out thousands of these forms, analyzing all these fruits in a lab, why does any of this matter? What's the big takeaway here?
Well, for starters, just look at the sheer scale of this operation. This map, it's from the actual report, and it shows all the different places the researchers went. This was no small weekend project. This was a massive nationwide census of a plant, a biological, and a cultural inventory all in one.
And what did all that work lead to? It led to this staggering number. By the time they were done, the researchers had found, photographed, and fully documented 940 distinct, unique cultivars of the date palm. Think about that, from a fruit that most of us know by just one name.
What they saved is basically a library, a living library of genetics, of flavor, of culture and history that was this close to being lost forever. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If all of this incredible diversity was hiding inside a single fruit we all thought we knew, what other treasures are out there? Hiding in plain sight in our fields and farms, just waiting for someone to come along and rediscover them?